Hello, I'm Alan Matthews from Classical Guitar Shed, and in this video we're talking about cycling pieces. Leaving a piece you've been working on, you've been learning this piece, you leave it, you want to get rid of it for a little bit of time for one reason or another, and then come back to it. And how do you do that successfully so that you don't forget the piece, you don't lose all the good work that you've done, or you don't just forget about it and wake up 2 years later and think, wasn't there a piece somewhere back there? So we're going to talk about cycling pieces and the way to do that successfully in this video. If you enjoy this video, please subscribe. All right, let's jump in. Okay, there are a few different reasons we would like to leave a piece of music. The first reason is just we get tired of it. We've been learning it, right? We've been learning it. We've been working on it. It's been our pride and our joy and our love of our practice, and we've been really enjoying it, but it's just time for something new. We're just over it. It's not completely up to level yet, but we just need something new. So once we know all the notes, then we might just want to do something new. And that's great because we should always learn new notes. We should be always learning new tunes. Oftentimes in this, it's not completely up to performance level. So we haven't completely finished it, quote unquote finished it. We haven't gotten everything just perfect and then we're leaving. Instead, it's somewhere in process. And then there's the scenario when we actually have gotten everything up to performance level. It's absolutely there. We can do it every single time. Boom, it's just right there. But then, so we don't need to be practicing it every single day anymore. But we still need to cycle it through. So these are the reasons that we might want to leave a piece. These are a couple of reasons. We might want to leave a piece and come back later. Now, here's the thing that happens so oftentimes is that we're all in and then we get onto another piece and we drop the piece for 2 months, 3 months, something like that. And the key is timing. Timing is everything with cycling pieces. And I mean cycle, bringing it back around, going in cycles in this way. So it makes a difference how long we wait before bringing it back. At first, we need to bring it back very frequently. So not months, not even weeks, but a couple of days. So we need to, yes, we can put it aside, but we need to come back the day after tomorrow and play this piece again, even if we just blast through it. Even if we just blast through it, just to say, it's still in the brain. It's still there, it's still there. And then we can wait 2 more days, and then 3 days, and then 4 days, and then 5 days, and then a week, and then a week and a half. And then so this is called spaced repetition. As we go, we can go further and further between practices on it. It doesn't mean that we have to do all the work to this piece. Like the slow practice of every little thing. It doesn't mean that we have to do that. We could just touch on it, play through it once or twice, and then that's good for another week. Eventually, after a couple of months of doing this, you'll get up to where you can go a month, and then you can go for 2 months, and then bring it back. But the main thing is that it's not just dropping it all together. You have to keep it in the circulation, or else you will wake up 6 months later and not know the piece anymore. And it's really frustrating to do that because we put all this work into it. So there are a couple of things that we can do to make this process easier. The very first is to keep a running list of your piece. I have this running list. I think it's from an old program, from an old concert program. I think it's from like 2013 or something. And it's just on the back, there's just this written in small print, a list of just pieces. And every time I learn a piece, I just stick it on there. And so it's just full of pieces. And so then I can look through there, pick what I'm going to be doing over the next, the little like, I haven't played that in a while, and bring it back in that way. So the things that are recent on the list, I should be touching in on those. And the things that are more distant, I can touch in on less frequently. But just having a list there is great just to know what I've worked on. And then the next thing that you can do to make it easier to come back and cycle through your pieces is to set expectations for what you'll do with those pieces. So it could be, you could say, okay, for the next month, whenever I touch in on this, I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to play it from memory at this tempo. It's like 90%, 80% of the final performance tempo. And it could just be that. And so with this piece, that's not 80, 90%. That's probably 80, 90. So I could just go through the entire piece at that tempo and with the metronome or without, and then that's my thing. I know what I'm going to do. So I've set my expectation for the piece. The other thing is that we can know which spots we need to touch on to keep those nice and crisp in our mind so that we can continue to get better at them. It could be that there's a tricky spot in that. Kind of sloppy there. So it could be that that particular little spot needs to come back still more frequently than the entire piece. And I know that my expectation for that is to just play that spot, and it's just to touch on it. It's just to play it through once or twice every couple of days, and I know that in a couple of months, then, or a month, or however many, then it will be much better because I've done intentional practice on it for a short amount of time frequently. So set expectations for what it is that you're going to actually do with your piece. And that just comes into being organized, right, with your practice. So cycling pieces in and out, it's natural. We all do it. It's just a natural part of playing. The question is, are we doing it effectively, and are we maintaining and keeping our pieces so that we can play them and so that they get better over time, and so that we can improve the phrasing over time, improve how comfortable it is, the speed, all these things. So big fun. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to this channel, and we'll do it again sometime in the near future. All right, take care. Bye-bye.